Good evening, Earthcafe. How's it all going? Awesome, that's great. Little clap, bit of a cheer. Okay, okay, awesome. Okay, so welcome to Earthcafe, and tonight we have a lovely speaker for you. His name is Marc, and without further ado, I will hand you over to Marc, and he'll start talking some good stuff. Here you go.
Thanks, Berty. My voice is quite loud. Can you hear me anyway? Do you want microphone or no? Microphone, yeah. Microphone, okay, I'll use it. That's fine. Just I'll take a few seconds getting over how the microphone in front of me. I'm involved with Fairport, which is in Plymouth City Market, and one of the things that we care about is fair trade. And my guess is a lot of you here. Oh, can't hear. Speak right into the microphone. That's a chat. Got it? Yeah. Alright, so it gives me a chance to mention Fairport the second time already. So I'm involved with Fairport, that's in Plymouth City Market. One of the things that we care about is fair trade. Can you hear me okay now? Yeah. And you may or may not know that today is the start of Fairtrade Fortnight, which has been going for lots of years. Claire, how many years has Fairtrade Fortnight been going for? Anybody tell us? Claire?
Yes?
How many years have we had Fairtrade Fortnight for?
48.
Maybe 8. Well, we've been a Fairtrade City for 10.
We've been a Fairtrade City for 10.
And
Yeah, lots of years,
About 8 years before that.
Okay, so that's good. And so we were invited to come and speak at Earthcafe and just talk a little bit about fair trade. So I'm not going to talk for ages. The first thing I'm going to do is just show this film, but we got this from the Fair Trade Foundation, and we thought of showing the feature film. That might seem a bit scary, but that's actually only 13 minutes. But we've had a look in the trailer, which is 90 seconds. Kind of does it really. So first of all, we're just going to show the trailer.
Chimodzimodzi monga mitambo yanga yatiutika makula imandisangalatsa ndi anafuna chimodzimodzi papopanda apo ndikuti mnyumba muno sithandizika china chilichonse ndi tiye khale amene amatithandiza. Mmoyo mwanga munasinthika pa moyo wanga wa siku ndi siku chifukwa cha fair trade. Tinagula ambulance kusuka Mbizi. Anthu apo malungu akulu ndimaona ngati choncho kuti akanatha kumwalira kamba ka maambulasi omwewo ndi atha kumamvesa kuti chinthu ichi chothandiza. Zimene kutithandiza lerozi patakhala kuti mawa fair trade yatha, tidzakhalabe mmoyo wodandaula ndi mawa pakufa kuti moyo ndi wovuta.
So the purpose of just showing that film is just to re-engage us with the point that right into the mic. Okay. The point of showing that film is to re-engage us with the point that fair trade, the impact that fair trade has in the communities that benefit from it. And I think it's almost impossible for us as human beings to remain fully engaged with these things. So we like the idea of fair trade, it sounds good, but it's quite easy to lose touch with what that really means and where there are options of fair trade or not, and the non-fair. On the stall we often hear people say, oh, the trouble with fair trade is it costs more. It's what, yeah, well that's kind of the point. And so it's, but we're all susceptible to that. We're all susceptible to getting the bargain and so on. So it's really just to remind ourselves about the point of the fair trade movement. And just a couple of things. One was last year, some of you may have seen a bit of publicity about there was some research into the conditions in fair trade communities around the world. And what was being said was very often the levels of poverty were surprisingly high in those communities. So initially it was questioning whether fair trade was effective. But looking further, the point was that those communities, the baseline was the levels of poverty were so severe that actually the lift was very, very significant. So it was communities where the impact of poverty was so broad and so deep that even with significant lift, which was transforming lives in the way described in the film, there was still a long way to go. Leads to the second point, I guess. When we talk about fair, we shouldn't kid ourselves that it's absolute fairness. We should probably call it fairer trade. So it's a movement in the right direction. And if we pay enough for goods such that the people who are producing them can get education and healthcare, decent housing and so on, then that's a movement in the right direction. But global inequality continues to be an issue. So, you know, buying fair trade isn't the whole solution. I have a big problem with supermarkets, wouldn't be surprised to do that, but they love to say you're doing your bit, as if you just do this, if you recycle your shopping bag, then you know you can forget about the rest. But I think we've just always got to be mindful of what more we should be doing. The third thing I wanted to say was just there's been a debate over the years about the fair trade mark, and as some of you will probably have noticed, some Nestle products, for example, like Kit Kat, I think, has the fair trade mark on it. And you know, when I first saw that, I kind of thought maybe that's the end of the fair trade mark, or the end of satire, maybe. But on the other hand, it's easy to criticise efforts to do things better, and they'll never be perfect. If you step forward and try and do something on the basis of a set of values, then you'll end up in kind of sticky areas and grey areas. So while personally I do have a problem with some of the stuff that you see has the fair trade mark, and where there's sort of cynical effort by big multinationals to do their bit of corporate greenwash or just to kind of up sales, I don't think it dismisses the whole intention and effort behind the fair trade movement. So just a few thoughts. I don't want to say any more, but very happy to answer any, or try to answer any questions. Probably ask Claire to help out if you've got any sticky questions about fair trade. But that was all I had to say, really, Bertie.
Okay, that's lovely. So has anyone got any questions?
Yeah, you say it's fair trade in the market. Is that in the market in Tampania market? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's in.
Do you want to through the mic again?
Through the mic.
Do some beatboxing.
I will do that. Yeah, so if you go in the Frankfurt Gate entrance to the market, the most famous store in the market is Joe Brown's Fruit and Veg. There has been there for 500 years, and we're joined on just there to the left, and we've been there for 2 years. And we've got a wide selection of fair trade stuff, cruelty-free, environmentally sustainable, locally sourced when we can. We do a lot of bagging up dry goods to try and bring the price down. We're a cooperative, mostly run by volunteers. We're so fabulous.
Is it spreading?
Yeah, it is. It is. And so we started 2 years ago, just under a year ago, a shop opened on Armada Way called Ethica, working to the same set of values. And yeah, so the thought that there could be two places on, doing that kind of thing when 2 years ago there was nothing, feels like there's a movement in the right direction for Plymouth. Having said that, we always welcome more customers, more volunteers, because it is a struggle to keep it on the streets as well. And that's the other thing I guess, since you've asked me about Fairport, I can say it. Buying fair trade from a fair trade stall that's working in the local economy, working as a cooperative, is better than buying it from supermarkets. So thanks for asking.
Yeah. Mark, there's another question over here. What is fair trade for?
It is, as many such movements have their, might be a day very often for many organisations, it's a whole 2-week period where there's an opportunity to actively either introduce people to what fair trade is about, remind people about what it's about. So for example, we've been invited to go into a primary school on Friday and talk about fair trade and about our efforts. So it's really a consciousness raising couple of weeks. And it gets good support. I know Plymouth University is quite active on Fairtrade Fortnight this year. Don't know how active Plymouth City Council is this year, but not very, but sometimes it is. So yeah, that's what it's about really. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.